Hi sweeties, today we are going to do corned beef and cabbage in the Ninja Foodi. It's almost St. Patrick's Day, but I heard somewhere that they really don't even eat corned beef and cabbage in Ireland, so I don't know where that originated. I heard that it was bacon and cabbage, but it's not the bacon that we know here in the States. It's a whole different thing. So anyway, we're still going to do corned beef and cabbage because that's what we all know and that's what I love. I love corned beef. So please hit that notification bell, subscribe to Sweet Savant, like this video, give me a thumbs up, and let's get into it. We're going to start with our corned beef. This is about 4 pounds of corned beef, and it is made from the brisket cut of beef. So it usually takes hours and hours in a low oven or simmered slowly to get tender. But we're going to cook it in the Ninja Foodi. We're going to use the pressure cook function. So it should take maybe about an hour and 20 minutes. We're going to cook it on the rack in some chicken broth. Yum. And after the corned beef has finished, we'll take it out. The rack will make it much easier for us to take it out of the liquid. We're going to add in some cabbage and carrots and pressure cook that. Just steam it for 3 minutes to get it tender, and that will be that. So let's talk a little bit about corned beef. What is it? So we already talked about how it is the brisket cut of beef, and corned just means that it is cured with salt, and the salt helps to preserve that beef, and there also, to preserve that pink color, nitrates or nitrites are added. And sometimes you can find corned beef without nitrates or nitrites added, but it'll usually have a grayer color. And sometimes sugar and other spices are added during the curing process, but there's usually like a packet of mustard seeds and bay leaf, that type of seasoning in here that we will cook with the brisket in the pressure cooker. So I'm going to take this out of the package and rinse off the goo, and we'll get started. When you read the directions on the back of this packet, it says to cover the corned beef with water and then simmer it for about 60 minutes per pound. And like I said, this is almost 4 pound corned beef, so it will take close to 4 hours to get ready if we do it in the simmer method according to there, but we're not going to do that. So the corned beef in the pressure cooker, like I said, will cut down the cooking time to just about maybe an hour and 20 minutes, maybe 90 minutes total. We'll check it after an hour and 20 minutes because you don't want it to get mushy. This is that seasoning pack that came in there, and it's got whole peppercorns, whole cloves, some corianders in there, and some crushed bay leaf. And I'm going to add in some chicken broth because that chicken broth is going to help the corned beef steam, and then we're going to cook the cabbage and carrot in it after, so it'll give us a nice flavorful meal. We don't want the cabbage to be bland. And remember, this is already salted. It's been soaked and seasoned with salt and cured with salt. So one thing we don't have to add is more salt. So use a low sodium or no sodium chicken broth if you can find it. Add on that pressure cook lid. Before you start cooking with your pressure cooker, once you've got the lid on, make sure that the vent is turned to seal so that the steam stays in. Then we're going to hit pressure. This is already on high pressure, and we'll set the time for an hour and 20 minutes. So the Ninja Foodi it reached its pressure, it's done, and I just let it do natural release. So it's been going for another actually 20 minutes. I just went on and did something else, honestly. So we're going to switch it to vent and just let the rest of that pressure come out. All right, the pressure is released. Let's see if it's tender enough. I'm just going to take this butter knife. Oh yeah, and it just goes right in. So that's good. I'm going to take that out. And then we'll add the cabbage and carrots into all that nice broth down there. I'm going to use my heat-resistant silicone gloves. I'll put a link to these in the description box, but I love these. You don't have to worry about if they get wet. And they're heat-resistant. You can use them as oven mitts, everything. Then drop these big chunks of carrot in there. I usually like to discard the outer leaves of cabbage. In half. And then in quarters. And then again. Then I'll just cut. That doesn't have any quarter in it. Cut the core out, and I'll just put this whole piece into the Ninja Foodi. You can cut it a little smaller if you want, like that. Just makes it easier to eat, but I like to add the head of cabbage in there. Put that lid back on. Make sure that I turn the vent back to seal. We'll do pressure cook on high. Let's do 4 minutes. Now I'm going to vent the pressure cooker again. Then we'll check on the cabbage. All right, let's crack it open one more time. And dish up some of that cabbage and carrot that's been simmering in the chicken broth that we cooked the corned beef in. It's tender. And we'll just layer some corned beef on top. And remember, the corned beef is made with lots of salt, so don't add any more to your dish. You're not going to need it. And that's the cabbage and carrots. And that is it. Our corned beef and cabbage is ready. Let's give it a taste, see if the corned beef is tender. Yep, it's sure tender. Now I cooked the corned beef with the fat on, but before I served it, I trimmed most of it off. And corned beef can be a pretty fatty cut, so you just want to remove some of that before you serve it. Unless you don't want to, then don't. The cabbage is good and tender, but not overcooked, not mushy. Same thing for the carrots. That's it. One pot meal, corned beef and cabbage. Perfect for your St. Patty's Day dinner. Hope you enjoyed it. Please like this video, give it a thumbs up, subscribe to Sweet Savant, hit that notification bell so you will get notified when I post new recipes just like this one.